What if I tell you that separation anxiety is a good thing? Watch on to find out the 3 things you must do to prepare your children for those moments of separation. Hi everyone, I'm Jacinth. I'm a parenting coach, ex-school teacher, and a mom of 2 kids. Through my courses, workshops, and in social media, I empower parents with research-backed positive parenting strategies so that they can transform their families from chaos to calm. For more actionable strategies, don't forget to click the subscribe button below. Do you find that your kids cry and go into meltdowns when you hand them over to a caregiver, drop them off at school, or when they see you leaving the house for work? Separation anxiety, as the term suggests, is when the kids experience anxiety as the parent or other caregiver leaves. Why do children experience separation anxiety? Children begin to experience separation anxiety when they grasp the concept of object permanence. This usually happens at about 6 to 7 months, where children understand that objects still exist even when they don't see them. Which means when a child understands object permanence, he or she will go looking for things that they don't see anymore, and that includes you, the parents. Babies will start crying for their parents when they see them leaving the room. I want to assure you that separation anxiety is a developmental phase that all children go through. As it starts about 6 to 7 months, it will reach its peak at about 14 to 18 months. Studies have shown that it will fade at about 2 years old, but I know there are children who continue to experience this anxiety even as they grow older, but it will definitely get better. Why is separation anxiety a good thing? Signs of separation anxiety show because children have formed secure attachments with their caregivers. Attachment is a good thing because it means that children have healthy emotional connections with a trusted person who provides a sense of consistency and safety. Remember that your child will eventually form similar attachment bonds with the teachers in school or with their grandparents. Experiencing separation anxiety also helps children to regulate their emotions. When they are separated from their caregivers, it provides them the opportunities to learn how to deal with the stress and anxiety. Children might regulate by crying and wailing, and that's okay. Over time, their bodies will build the synapses to cope with the big emotions, and they will grow to be more resilient in the process. I know it can be hard to tolerate our children's cries, and that is why I put together a Managing Meltdown email series to help you deal with the meltdowns with calmness and confidence. Click the link in the description below for the free email series. Now for the actionable part, transition tips. If it is your child's first school-going experience or they're going to a new environment, it is normal for children to be worried or feel anxious. What more to be kept by unfamiliar faces? Remember, it takes time for your child to adjust to the new routine and learn that you will eventually be back to pick him up. Here are my 3 tips to help your child cope with separation anxiety. Tip number 1, do a consistent routine at drop-offs. Make the drop-off short and sweet. Look at your child in the eye and say, you are going to school now and mommy is going to work, but I will definitely pick you up after lunch. Teacher Anna will take over now. Mommy loves you. Goodbye. No matter how anxious you feel, yes, there's such a thing as the parent separation anxiety. I want you to say goodbye in an assuring way and hand the child over to the teacher. Your child might begin to struggle and cry, but remember that he is fine in the hands of the trusted caregivers. Don't linger for too long because your presence will only add to your child's anxiety. Resist the urge to take your crying child back from the teacher because that will take a longer time for your child to settle down. Remain consistent with this farewell routine every single day. The more predictable it is, the more your children are confident in their ability to be apart from you. Tip number 2, keep your promise to come back. This is so important. If you promise to pick your child after lunch, make sure he sees you after his meals. If you promise to bring him to the playground after school, please do it. Lying to the child breaks the trust between the parent and the child and exacerbates the anxiety in him. I once made a big mistake as a first-time mom, and that was to sneak off and disappear without telling my son. Back then, my son had a hard time being away from me, and it was very challenging for me to leave the house. So my in-laws would then bring him to the kitchen, and I will simply disappear without a word. Looking back, sneaking away and saying goodbye is a big no-no. I shouldn't have done that because it made my child think that his parents can disappear anytime without warning. As a result, my child grew even more anxious because the trust between the parent and the child was broken. It took me some time to repair that broken trust and assure him that I will return. So remember, always say goodbye to your children and assure them that you will come back. Saying a tearful goodbye is better than saying no goodbyes. Tip number 3 is to role play going to school. When you are at home with your children, do a pretend play the scenario of going to school and make it fun. Role play the routine of putting on their school uniform and their school shoes before leaving the house. You can even do a pretend play of traveling to school and let them know what to expect at the drop-off point. For example, when we reach the school gate, I'm going to make sure that your teacher is there. I will then give you a big hug and kiss, hand you over to your teacher, and say goodbye to you. You can go through the entire drop-off routine and include what you're going to say at the point of separation. The more the kids can predict what is going to happen, the less anxious they will be. Another tip is to take time to know the names of your children's classmates and teachers so that you can use them in their daily conversations. Over time, your child will grow familiar with going to school and having fun with his friends. This will get him to look forward to going to school. Remember that separation anxiety is healthy and normal. You can't stop your child from feeling anxious, but you can take steps to alleviate the separation anxiety. Try these tips, but know that it takes time for your kids to work through the anxiety. My son took 2 to 3 months to stop crying at drop-offs and finally adjust to school. You are not alone. Drop-offs might be torturous right now, but it will not last forever. There will definitely come a day where your child will happily wave and say goodbye to you and walk into school. If you've learned something new, don't forget to click the like and subscribe button below, and I can provide more resources to help you on your parenting journey. See you in the next video.